The looking glass is an ancient art technique known as scrying. This technique reveals the blueprint of your soul.
This is probably one of the most significant reads I've ever done, and I don't really know how to put the pieces together, but I will try. We're going to reveal a secret society known as Vril, Vril. It's also known as VRI11. It was founded by Maria Orsik, and we're going to talk about a realm that is a prison and realms that are not, heavenly realms and realms that are hellish. And we're going to talk about portals, stargates, and people who know about energy. We're going to talk about the Anunnaki. So the blueprint of Charmaine's soul has Maria Orsik connected to it. Why? I don't know. Honestly, didn't know anything about her. I think I've read about her many years ago, but have forgotten about her. But she basically does what I do, except she telepathically connects with aliens and then writes down what she sees. And so let's just get started. Look at the symbology. We're going to begin at 6 o'clock. There is an individual whose body looks like a toboggan or skis. So this is snow. And then we see a stargate with a bull. This is Taurus. Above the bull is a moon. Above the moon is another planet, or maybe the sun, I'm not sure. There are individuals with helmets at 11 o'clock. There's a female with a golden ticket with a rainbow above their head at 12. And then there's another female with long hair and an eagle above her head, holding a crown with a ring. There are some coins with the number 13 and 23. Again, we see the bull that has their hand over someone's mind. And then we have the unicorn with the swastika. The second piece reflects a world of stone and a woman with 3 faces sitting on a stone throne and in between 2 suns. She's holding an oracle looking glass water puddle on her lap. And there's a Thor-looking individual holding Thor's hammer at 11 o'clock. And then at 1 o'clock, there's a lioness and a female holding 2 candles. Then we see something that looks like a shooting star or an eye of a needle and individuals under the eye. And they are under a prison control dominated by the lion. The lion has always been connected to a prison guard. So these individuals look like they are asleep. So at 7 o'clock, under the eye, there's a female asleep and is under the control of the lion. There's a lot of negative connections to these stories, but I'm going to explain it the way that Spirit has spoken to me about it. So in 1919, look at the number 911, 911, Maria Orsik was the founder of Vril. There's some strange things connected to her. She's highly telepathic. She did some amazing things. She figured out how to design a portal, a stargate. It's a German secret society, and they worked with aliens to develop groundbreaking energy sources. They used 0-point energy and other advanced technologies. Notice this image of Maria having 3 heads, and just notice the symbolisms here. They get pretty significant. There's no denying, Charmaine, that this is connected to you. They believed in a revolutionary new alternative energy source that would change the world forever. That short hair for women was atrocious, and a new world order was inevitable. That they could channel from aliens and other star systems through telepathy, and they used Vril energy, part magnetism, part gravity, part something else. So they believed that this Vril energy could be transformed into a viable technological reality. They believed that it would have dominance over other nations and would eventually conquer the world. I do find it interesting that the word Vril, V-R-I, was separated by VRI11, which is 1111, and this seems to be some sort of mind control thing going on. So the Vril Society claimed that they could channel communications to other races in faraway solar systems. They reportedly did this by cutting an apple in half and concentrating on the core of the apple. They believed that hair was antenna, and if you grew your hair and twisted it in a certain way, that they served as antennas and could communicate with extraterrestrials. They also used disc-shaped medallions or necklaces around their necks. This is why I see these medallions in your first piece with the number 13 and the number 23. Apple iPhone, Adam and Eve and the apple, Dorothy being slapped with the apple tree, Isaac Newton being hit in the head with the apple, the never-ending story, the little boy eating an apple in the attic, the movie 300, the man eating the apple and talking about significant things, the apple being connected to aliens. Yeah, the apple, Snow White eating the poisonous apple. Yeah, these apples are connected to painful awakenings. So they say the word Vril is actually synonymous with electricity or the force of nature, such as magnetism. Some of the messages that Maria brought forward were scripts that were Sumerian, and no one knew how to read it. This was a language back in ancient Babylonian times. They were able to translate what they could, and they found that the message contained instructions for building a circular-shaped flying machine that operated off a mysterious energy source. This is reminding me of Contact, when Jodie Foster found the message of Hitler and began to see pages and pages of how to build a time machine. But when she went into the portal, and the answers that she found was that there was a divine order to everything. So we're going to talk about that. They're explaining here how these flying machines work. But I just want you to know that I've actually astral traveled to the moon, inside the moon, and there's some things that I see that is a little bit incorrect with what people are explaining here about these flying machines. So these flying machines are connected to the fiery chariot, the Ezekiel's wheels. And it's more complicated than that. According to what I saw, when you are inside the moon, your mind is connected to everything. Everything is alive. You telepathically can connect with spaceships, lights, the floor, machines. There are no buttons. Everything and everyone is completely connected to everything. And it's not like it is here. So it's not like there's buttons to push. It's all telepathic. So Maria connected to someone named Sumi, the dwellers of a distant world, and the constellation is called the Taurus, the bull. And this is why the bull of Taurus is coming out of a stargate in your piece. The voice explained that Sumi were a humanoid race who had colonized the earth 500 million years ago, somehow connected to the Atlanteans. They had built great cities in Iraq, and there was a great flood. And so many of them left, and some of them who survived are still here and are part of the Aryan race. So I see this a lot in many of my readings, where the Mithrans, the Mithra, and the Armenians were the original race left here, and they could do many things. It's complicated. So this Vril Society found out about 2 habitable planets around the Aldebaran sun, and the group continued planning a trip far away to that solar system. According to your reading, they made it. That bull coming out of the Stargate is that Taurus constellation. And the trip was supposed to last 68 years to get to that system. and they were to fly through a dimensions channel like a wormhole from our solar system to Aldebaran. There's also a dog when they went through this Stargate, which means Sirius B, the dog star, and there's a lion biting there. So I don't know if they got into trouble, but there was a complication, it looks like. But there's unicorns, and this is a symbol of this white color that they perpetuate. So let's talk about the swastika. The swastika is connected to Odin. It's also connected to the four arms of the spirals, the four arms of the solar system. So our solar system is made up of four spirals, like these four spirals etched in stone from 2600 BC. And so this is a depiction of our solar system and the four spirals that spin around. And so this Vril society got into frequency, magnetism, and understanding how everything is created through sound. And so the four wheels of Ezekiel's wheels are connected to things within us and outside of ourselves. And as above, so below, as below, so above. We can change ourselves. We can become like time travelers if we simply activate our water within our body, transforming ourselves and eating a specific diet in order to become more telepathic, and really kind of leaving the world of materialism behind in order to grow ourselves into a more advanced human being. And so all of these truths are available to anyone here who wants to do this. But notice the dome that the female is holding here. This is a prison. And then these females who are out of the prison, look how they're telepathically moving the spaceship. The spaceship doesn't have a human inside. It's telepathic. And then I see this symbol a lot. And this symbol looks so familiar to me. Yes, it is the letter V. Yes, it's connected to the Vatican. Yes, Darth Vader. Yes, vampires. Yes, the United States Space Force with the letter V. Yes, it's all connected. This real society is still alive and well, and yes, must be putting us under some sort of program. And I'll tell you what I know about that program, and I'm not going to vilify it with the letter V or anything, but I just want you to know what Spirit is telling me about this program and these people. So the first piece has a female with a rainbow over her head. This is flying like a pretty little bluebird over the 7 colors of the rainbow, Dorothy. And the all-seeing eye being part of a trinity, which is the triangle. The triangle going up is fire. And the eye of the needle is being presented here. And we're going to talk about all of these symbols being connected to a prison planet, a prison realm. Some of us were born under mind control and prison. We were abused. We were neglected. I'll tell you my personal story, not to be self-important or to take away from you, but to help others who are listening, including yourself, to understand this prison. So the bald eagle is at 1 o'clock in your first piece, and this eagle is holding a crown. Also, the threefold flame, or the triquetra symbol. So the number 11, 911 equals 11, okay? And then the 2 towers looks like the number 11. The 2 towers sits in front of a body of water, and the body of water reflects another number 11. This is the number 22. The 2 towers burned and fell. So this is the falling of a number 11. The sun flips every 11 years. And so the number 11 is connected to the sun. Jesus Christ has 11 letters in his name. So does Harry Potter. So does Dorothy Gale. And every American president since 9/11 has 11 letters in their official name as a reflection of this Vril society, which the letter V is 1-1. And even police officers and, of course, the Nazis all had the number SS, which wasn't SS, it was actually 1-1. So they call these people from this other planet the light god people. And the official temple of Isis of Egypt has the bull above her head, the bull's eye, from the Taurus constellation. So this Maria, this Vril, is connected to Isis, and this Isis is the bull, and it's the planet system of Taurus. It's connected to Soli, Maria Orsik, Isis. And it's also a story about the Anunnaki gods on Earth and the fight with the reptoids, the reptilians. So they got this spaceship flying in the fall of 1944, and Hitler boarded this spaceship to the Aldebaran solar system, the Taurus solar system. This place must be pretty despicable to go through all that trouble to leave it. And this is what they say it looks like, that we actually live inside, which makes sense because everything down to its smallest form of the atom, it has a hollow inside. The earth was hollow with two great openings at the poles. As above, so below. Since blood, body, egg cells, and a comet or an atom all have a nucleus and a hollow space surrounding it that it is enclosed by the corona radiata, the life force is inside it, so is the earth. So they deduce that the earth was built after the same principles, which kind of makes sense. So all the planets around us are dead, really? No, they're all alive. Everything is inside, according to them. They maintain that there is a place in the interior, their master race, that lives inside, and the mutants live on the surface. So we are the mutants. Yay. The main entrance are at the north and south poles, through which the central sun is shining and produce the aurora borealis. So let's look at the symbolisms of your piece. Obviously, the female at the bottom is about Antarctica or some place of ice. And so this skis, this toboggan-looking female is in snow. Then we see a stargate. We see the bull of Taurus coming out of the stargate with the moon above it. The two unicorns and the bull there are telling a story of an upper world and a lower world. The letter V is the Vril society. If the female at the bottom is dominated by the bull and is connected telepathically to the bull raises up a human being into becoming as powerful and as connected as them. It's kind of the story of Christ. He says, if you believe me, you will become as powerful as me and more. So connecting to the Taurus and the bull raises a human being up to higher levels by wearing the cloak or the robe of their energy, their telepathic downloads. So once we connect with a higher race, like a race that isn't dominated by self-importance and ignorance and, the people here who are all drug addicted and, addicted to alcohol and just work their lives away for nothing, when we grow our souls and purify ourselves to become white, not a white race, but white like the unicorn, the two unicorns here, then we are crowned and given the ring. And the ring is that we marry a collective consciousness that is about purity, truth, and life. And the crown is the golden crown, the golden age of Aquarius. And it is about being telepathically connected to others so that we become powerful together. So there may be a communication that our bodies are a time machine, and when we raise our consciousness through frequency and developing those 4 wheels of Ezekiel wheels, or the 7 chakras within our body, by maintaining a very high frequency temple, which your body is a temple, and awakening through knowledge that we ascend naturally. We don't have to use a stargate, because we see two paths here. One path that doesn't go through a stargate. It actually goes to the bull, to the unicorn, to the crown, to the ring. Yay, you have the rainbow above our head. We've gone over the rainbow and we've shifted our consciousness and grown our soul like Dorothy's tall soul. And we've left munchkins, people who are short of understanding, behind. The people who went through the stargate, it looks like a lion bit them. And there are individuals that are connected to the Vril. And there are people like Darth Vader with black helmets on. So I don't know. I'm a little confused about it, but I will say this. Notice the Orion's belt that is over the female at 7 o'clock in the eye of the needle. The only way to heaven is through the eye of the needle. The eye of the needle is within you. Is it without you? Do we have to find it in a spaceship? And it's a prison planet. And the only way I know how to explain it is through metaphors. And explaining my particular life process and ascension and how to go through the eye of the needle. And the eye is about around the heart chakra. It's the fourth gate, the fourth heart chakra. And it takes forgiveness. Forgiveness is not a kind act. We have to ruthlessly let go of who we were, basically kill our old self and the people connected to it. Anyone not following life energy, they follow death, selfishness, self-importance. They get to stay in District 12, 12 hours, 12 months, 12 zodiac signs. And the people of light are free and District 12 is not. District 12 is a place of suffering and pain. It is a place under the eye. The symbolisms connect with District 12 are the bald eagle. Now notice that Russia's flag has two bald eagles, right? And America has the one bald eagle. And this is being under prison, being judged, a soul being judged under a prison, narcissistic controls. And when we are in a prison planet, our very first animal instinct and reaction is to fight it. But watch this video because our actions keep us in a prison planet.
Sin is doing something out of divine order, like sleeping with a married man. When we disobey divine order, we are out of the Vesica Pisces, the eye of the needle, the grace of God. We are under his eye. Being polarized comes from ignorance and self-importance, and it puts us in a place out of divine order and under narcissistic controls. Jesus said to hate your brother, your mother, even your own life. He was speaking to those who were outside of the eye and were polarized by self-importance and separatism. So yes, God hates all of those outside of the eye. In order to get back into the eye, you must become nothing, and then you will become everything.
It is like a prison.
I love the show Stranger Things because the character 11 and I have a very similar life. So at 11 years old, my stepdad was a preacher. He molested me. And instead of going to prison, they put me in a mental hospital. So at 11 years old, like the number 11, this mental hospital was called GMHI, Georgia Mental Health Institute. It's also known as Hawkins Lab. Hawkins Lab on the show Stranger Things was a real mental hospital. And I had to undergo treatments and was put under a lot of narcissistic doctors who didn't care a thing about me. I had no one who cared about me. My mother just abandoned me. So my entire family, they were soulless rapists. They were soulless people that should have loved me, but didn't. So I was in a prison planet. My dad committed suicide, and here I am being thrown in the garbage, thrown into mental hospitals and all this stuff, and didn't have a friend in the world. And even if I prayed to Jesus or God or a guardian angel, nobody came to help me. Nobody loved me. And that's what it feels like in this prison planet, is you are nothing but garbage. And so even little children are treated like disgusting garbage here. They're raped, sodomized. And if we look at the Vatican, they harm more children than any other organization on earth. Over 300,000 children have been reported abused, sodomized, and raped in the last 10 years by that religious organization that happens to start with the letter V. So I think that, there are people who definitely go outside of divine order to try to make it to heaven, to make it to other realms of freedom. And they do it outside of a natural order, because the only way to get to peace or power or a true collective consciousness that doesn't perpetuate separatism or racism or any of that is through the heart chakra. And the ruthless act of forgiveness of self and others, and truly following a voice that leads us to reconciliation. So there is an escape of this prison planet, but it's not what people think. You're not going to be building spaceships and destroying people and killing people. Katniss Everdeen could have made it out of District 12 if she could have stopped fighting her out of reality. And if she could have ruthlessly forgiven this terrible prison world and how terrible, she felt not having support of her mother or anyone, right? If she could have ruthlessly killed that memory out of her head and began seeking first the kingdom of God and connecting to higher realms and higher consciousness, then she could have shifted automatically out of that place. But according to this piece, Charmaine, you are the embodiment of Isis or Maria Orsik. And I guess we are under the illusion or the perception that Maria is polarized, that she is a little controlling or narcissistic or, more like Adolf Hitler or something. But I'm seeing that the Trinity of the three faces reflects someone who is only listening to a divine order. And the white of the unicorn is about the purification of the soul, going from gray moon to the white sun, going from Gandalf the gray to Gandalf the white, and Neo Anderson following the white rabbit. It's really about surrender and forgiveness in order to connect flesh to the white holy dove. And this white holy dove makes us half flesh and half spirit and takes us to higher realms, going through the eye of the needle, which we unload our camel of all attachments to the world. Materialism, self-importance, being famous, pain, shame, ignorance, narcissism, we just let it go. And once we become nothing, we become everything. Once we become no one, we become everyone. And it's not a new world order. To me, it's a divine order of God. It's a dog. It comes from the Sirius star system. It's connected to the tetrahedron and this invisible star. She is the great mother, and that is your embodiment. You are the great mother, and you have this blueprint in your soul of this time from 1919, 911. But you're like a judge, and you have an all-seeing eye that goes down on your dress. This is the water. So it's like sending people to the prison planet who do not obey a divine order. So the woman holding the two candlesticks is about the number 11, and it's about the two towers. And the two towers being in a prison. So the female on the right is under a lioness. This is someone who is under mind control and who is, number 11 is the character 11. And the number 12 is also like District 12. And even the legs of the lion makes the number 11 on its side, like the two towers that fell. It's a death. It's a falling away of grace under his eye. Notice that your seat that you're sitting on also looks like two number 11s being split. So like two hemispheres of your brain, and the center of the brain is the pineal gland. The pineal gland is the antenna. The hair kind of serves as an antenna, but the pineal gland is the true antenna. It is the third eye, the eye of the needle. Take the water that's in your lap as a encouragement for you to do the looking glass as I do in whatever way you see fit. You can see in stone, wood, paper, anything really. And you can do my technique. You can do it in water. You can do it in a mirror, but it helps your telepathy. Eat a lot of honey. It helps to encourage your telepathic abilities as well. And I would like to really hear what you have to say about this video, because I would be really shocked to hear that you know nothing about the Vril Society or Maria Orsik. Notice that also the sun flips every 11 years, right? But the number of the sun is 111. So your face is 111. This is the Trinity. There is something that the Vril Society says, is that a child must experience pain in order to develop their telepathic abilities. So like the character 11, she became powerful. She began to open portals. The problem was she was opening portals of pain, and she was bringing in darkness and ugliness. So she had to heal her pain in order to open a new portal, which was the portal of the reunion of love and connection, family and friends, that perpetuates joy. And you know, the unicorn has 2 ears, and in the center of the 2 ears is the unicorn, which makes the number 3. And this is the symbol of the sun, a pure soul. But please do comment, those of you who are watching this, because I want input from what everyone believes about this, so that I can help to give a better reading to Charmaine. There may be something that I'm missing. My name is Mary Moses. If you would like a reading, go to forestfairy.com.